R&B Money.
I started getting these migraines, and it started getting a little like, damn, I'm like, okay, I gotta see what's going on. I thought my wisdom teeth needed to be pulled, so I went to the dentist. And they brought a blood pressure machine out, and it was like, all right, let's put on. It was like 260 over, like, it was just crazy. He was like, the machine's broken. Get another machine in here.
They told you the machine was broke.
It's broke. They say it's defective. Get another one in here. They brought another machine in there. The dude looked at it, looked at me. He said, I'll be right back. He came back with a nurse. This is the dentist's office. They was like, look, we're going to write you a letter, and we need you to leave here and go to the emergency room right now. I was like, what's happening? He's like, your blood pressure. You should go to the emergency room right now. And told my assistant at the time, I had like an assistant, I was doing something, I had somebody to me to, he's like, get him to the hospital right now. So, of course, I didn't take it serious. I'm like, man, I'm cool. I'll just go later. I call my mom. She's like, man, if you don't get to the hospital right now. So I went, gave them my letter. Like 2 or 3 doctors came out from the back immediately and was like, we got to drop your blood pressure. We got to, sorry, my bad. He's like, we got to drop your blood pressure. We got to admit you. You're pretty much a walking stroke right now. Like, they're doing this. Like, can you see? Can you literally, like, are you alive? How are you? Like, they was,
how you functioning?
How are you functioning? What's going on? What, have you not taken your meds? All these different things. I'm like, no,
you weren't on meds.
We're on meds or nothing. I was like, I'm straight. And they put the IV drip and they dropped my blood pressure. And I was looking at my text messages and the words fell off. So I was going like a little mini stroke episode.
No.
And I was like, yo, I don't feel good at all. And so my dad, next day, my mom and dad, they flew out. But before then, the doctor that I was working with at first was harassing me. Like, why are you here? Like, why are you at this hospital? Like, you're just talking like, Google, you might have this, literally, I was like, dude, this is kind of hostile. But at the time, I didn't know what it was. My dad came the next day and he's like, we got to do a biopsy because something's up. And so we did a biopsy Monday and I tested, it was renal kidney failure. FSGS is the most rare and effective and dangerous kidney disease. One of them. 10% function, bro. Literally, they was like, yeah, you got to switch the gears right now. We're going to get you on dialysis. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I'm sitting back like, no, you're not. I got a session in a couple of weeks. In my mind, I'm like, yeah. In my mind, I'm like, no, I didn't come this. I'm like, hold on. Is this the price of success? Like, I have to, is this really what comes with it? And I was like, I manifested everything but who I wanted to be when it happened. And my dad always said that. He said, don't worry about making it. Worry about who you are when you do make it. And I neglected that. Cause I thought, the industry's like, you got to come studio late, pull up, do this, like eating what you want to eat. You've always had a good regimen though. Jay always been cool, man. He's always been chill. Like, he's like, you never, I feel like you never let this shit affect you in the same way. I mean, I'm pretty sure you probably went through your thing, but I always, when we had a conversation, it was definitely necessary because that's when I was going through a manic episode. So when you called me, he was talking to me, I was kind of like, I'm some money. Or I probably had a hospital appointment and I was feeling jittery from the steroids and all the different medications they put me on. And so now I'm like a zombie, kinda. So I started putting the mask on and be like, all right, I'm gonna still kill it. And so I have my doctor's appointments every other week. And I have my sessions. So I just schedule my sessions. So hits, hospital, Grammys, hospital, blah, 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 hospital. And then I just got really depressed. And I started feeling like, I don't feel nothing. I'm like, my whole life I did this. I feel nothing. How's that even possible? I'm getting calls. Kelly Clarkson working on a song. The Pink wants to meet me. And all these things I thought was supposed to be what it was supposed to be. It didn't feel like nothing to me. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm moving to Nashville. I'm out. I'm going to go to Nashville, get a little place, go stay in a teepee or stay somewhere off in the cut and just...
Did you say a teepee?
A teepee. Get away from this shit. I'm going to go to Nashville, get a teepee and just duck off.
I didn't even know they...
Nashville the correlation of teepees and
I was like,
Nashville.
teepee, like just a place to get away. Yeah. So to me, I was like a teepee on an acreage, and it still does music. I can go back to Kansas City, but I didn't want to go back. They'd have loved it too much. They'd been like, hey, he's back. I'm like, how many hits do I gotta do to make people know that I'm for real? And then also I've been top lining. I be keeping it cool, man, because I just, I was raised to be modest and be humble, but I be like, y'all don't have niggas don't know like what this is for me and what I understand it to be. And so I moved to Nashville years ago. And Ronnie was on that too. So I like the new Nashville Surgeons, but I'm like, I kind of helped get that started. You know what I'm saying? I was working Dan Huff, the Rascal Flatts, Kenny Chesney.
I remember that's the one name you would always say.
Kenny.
Rascal Flatts.
Yeah,
I had no idea who that was.
Oh my
at that time when you first talking about it, you like, man, Rascal Flatts. I'm like, Rascal Flatts? Like, okay.
I told this guy, I said, I'm in Nashville. He's like, you're a writer. I know you got these big records. And I remember at this I was at this function where I was playing the piano, a universal function, and these two guys came up to me. It was Pat Hayden and Kent Earls. Was like, hey man, you do country music? I said, yeah, I do country music. He was like, well, you come out to Nashville, look us up. Man, I was there. I bought a guitar and everything. I didn't put the hat on. I'm cool on that. Like that's
Did you know how to play guitar?
Yeah, I figured it out on the way. I said
on the way.
Four chords. I was like, here we go. I'm there. 4 chords. All the country hits is 4 chords.
Yeah.
They say don't boys get to the chorus. I'm like, cool, let's go. So I started imitating.
Don't boys get to the chorus.
I started emulating songs, started playing and singing, and I would joke, but they would be like, that's really good. I was like, yeah, you think so? And I said, you know what? I'm here to do pop music with y'all. Yeah, how many people here want to do pop music? They're like, my daughter love if I work with Rihanna. You know, they got forms.
Rihanna.
They got forms. It's not about the money. It's just, you know, we can just have a good time working with Rihanna and Chris Brown and Christopher. Ought to be amazing to work with him. And so I started working on pop songs with them and giving their community like, you know, collaborations. And I was like, and they was like, we should do country music. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, yeah, don't let me do this because I'll do it for real. And so started doing it. Rascal Flatts, this girl named Maggie Rose got on her project. Kelly Clarkson did Mr. Know-It-All was a hit in both genres, pop and country. And then at the time, my health started getting worse. So I'm in Nashville, got a whole new life. And then I just like, I'm done. I couldn't handle the pressure of trying to maintain that energy and have a headache. And I started thinking about suicide. I was like, I found a new thing and then that didn't complete it. I'm like, yo, what is this?
Wow.
Why can't I get around this thing? And I just was avoiding it, man. I was just not paying attention to the rules. And it's not like, I was drinking, I was smoking, I wasn't doing anything, taking nobody's girl. I thought I was being a good Samaritan, and I was like, I'm gonna just be here. And I'm like, so God, I'm confused about why I'm in this space. And you got me this talent. And it wasn't until life moved on and I met the person who I'm with now, you know what I'm saying? And it's almost seeing through a peephole, you see energies in people. And Jay's always been a constant. And every time I saw you taking, actually after I got out of the hospital, I saw y'all, I think a Rock Nation brunch or something. And I was skinny or whatever. And you was like, we need you here, man. We need you here, bro. You good? I was like, yeah. Y'all was together. You was like, we need you here. Come on, man. I was like, appreciate it. But I was fresh out the hospital. That's when I seen you. It was brief, but you always make sure y'all tap. One thing about y'all is like brothers, y'all make sure y'all tap in. And that it's not happening like that. And I use that now when I measure someone's energy, I try to be intentional and be present about it. Because all this other shit, man, people turn up studios, all that, that's cool. But it's like, bro, it's deeper than that, man. Because once you understand the deconstruction of life itself, and from my experience, it's like none of this really matters other than like what's the mission. And then I remember thinking to myself, like, man, I got hits, but I need to heal. And so what does that look like? I was like, I want to go from making hits to healing, then making hits. And so I created a not-for-profit called Hits to Healing, where we reach, we teach, we connect the medical with the community, pharmaceutical with the foundation, because there's a whole bunch of misconceptions about how communication works within the space of medical in our community. Because they was all hit me up after my surgery and was like, we would love for you to be the front man to this or to that. And I was like, I don't think I'm capable of doing that if I don't have the information. So I posted my story online and comments were going up and people were hitting me up and I was getting messages like, yo, I have kidney failure. Like, what would you suggest for clinical? I was like, whoa, I don't know. I just share my story. And I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta educate myself. So I quit. I quit music again. I quit music like 4 times, by the way. I was still doing it for fun, but I was like, I quit again. This is it. This is the moment. Everybody's like, here you go, he's quitting again. I'm like, he's gonna quit. New revolution, the revelation. And I started teaming up with the National Kidney Foundation recently, and then NephCure Kidney Foundation, Northwest Kidney Center, American Heart Association. I started looking at their messaging, and it was similar to my messaging, but they had the power and the understanding and the connections. And so I started working with them closely. And
but how did you even get to them? Were you just cold calling people?
No, check this out. I was on a high profile list when I got on my transplant. That I didn't know about that. And so a pharmaceutical company reached out to me.
So what does that mean? That means that they just put you at a certain tier.
Right. Didn't know that. I was like, yo, this is wild. Like,
so they knew who you were.
I went into some system.
Got it.
Where it's like, he is
he's an accomplished. He's a guy.
Because they need it. They need that. They need
Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying.
for
their funding.
For their funding and their collaborations. But with the truth be told, man, it's a lot of people who want to help and want to build.
But don't know how.
Don't know how.
R&B Money.